Head of Saltar Solutions, and I'm here on Focus Forward with a really exciting segment. We're going to be talking about Ms Behaven's Brittle, and I have the owner of the company here, Holly Borrelli, and I have the spokesperson for the company, Geraldine Fitzpatrick. So Holly, let's go to you first. Tell us a little bit about Ms Behaven's Brittle.
Well, I've been making peanut brittle for 23 years. I really love making the peanut brittle. I raised my kids on it because it was a candy that had protein. Mm-hmm. It actually has as much protein as Greek yogurt, which is fantastic because trying to get kids to eat protein is really difficult. Let's see, what else? It's a family business. A lot of my family work in the business, and we all make money and have a good time, and we're selling like crazy.
Awesome. So what's Geraldine's part in the business?
She's Ms Behaven.
As usual. So Geraldine, tell us a little bit about what it's like to be 87 years old and to be the spokesperson for a new company. How does that feel?
Well, it gives me something to do because I'm an active person and I always like to do something. I love to hand out the peanut brittle samples to people. I can talk to them and I can joke with them, and it's a lot better than just being home looking at the stove. So I really am having a ball out there and I love it.
Awesome. So Holly, what gave you the idea? What was the inspiration for not only the company, but to have Geraldine be the spokesperson?
What gave me the idea? Well, I had the company name Ms Behaven a long time ago, and then when I was kind of coming up with the idea of making the company, I was thinking about putting my mom up front, and then I realized, you know, that we could match the name of Ms Behaven with her, and it was a natural fit. So, and it seems like that everything in the business, we've been in business since May, and everything in the business has been like that it's just been a natural fit. Things have been coming together just great, and she's always been Ms Behaven, and so it was just perfect.
So give us a little bit of an insight in how you live up to the name Ms Behaven, because it can't be that easy.
I love to flirt,
no.
Especially with the old men. So I have so much fun. I tell jokes, and I invite them to sit. I have a rocking chair I sit in, and I tell them, come on, honey, sit on my lap, and I'll rub your back and tell you some sweet nothings. And, of course, they'd laugh and that. Then, of course, if they're with their wife, you know, I'll say, well, why don't you take her up where the crowd is and lose her and come on back? We'll go get a couple cold ones. We don't have to sit here and work all day. We'll have some fun. And, of course, the wife is laughing. And I said, well, don't you care? No, take him. Take him. If you don't want him, honey, I sure don't want him. Get rid of him. Go on, you two. Get on up the road. And they laugh.
So tell us about, you know, this type of repartee that goes on the, you know, at these events. Like, what is that? How is that indicative of your brand, and how is that fueling your brand?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, we decided that we were at a winery one day, and we decided that we needed to put some money aside for bail money for Mom, because sometimes she gets a little rough out there. But it's just great because the name Ms Behaven and the way that we, you know, branded it, and you know, I just don't know how to kind of tell you, but when we look for new products, which we are looking for new products, and we're going to start some new products next year, we look at how they're going to fit the brand. And so we're going to be working with some alcohol and some beer, and, you know, she does like to drink some beer. So anything kind of naughty that we can put together, that's what we look for, because everything we do, we try to build our brand.
So how does having an 87-year-old spokesperson in a chair who kind of tells risque jokes and flirts with the men, how does that differentiate you from other people that you may be next to or around at events?
Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of funny because I was just thinking about this morning. people think they're selling. You know, I mean, that's what they think their purpose is they have a product and they sell the product. And the way that we look at it is that it's not just a product, but it's a show. And we're giving people entertainment. And, you know, that's what differentiates us, is that we go the extra mile to entertain and to bring back nostalgia. You know, people are very nostalgic about peanut brittle. They're nostalgic about, you know, somebody being 87 and, got a little attitude, and they talk a lot about that. She reminds me of my grandmother or something like that. And we just try to, we're selling them an experience. And we want them to look at polka dots and remember the experience. And we're trying to hit as many senses as possible. So we give them a sample. They're looking at old pictures. We have pictures from when she was 6 years old, all the way up till, 2 years ago, when she was driving a Bobcat. And, so we're trying to meet all of the senses. So hearing, they're hearing jokes, visual, there's, all different kinds of visual there, and then also taste and smell because of the product. So, so I think that our approach differentiates us, and then the product that we've come out of that approach, that also differentiates our business.
Okay, great. That was a wonderful answer. I think that people could really get an understanding of how comprehensive and well thought out that brand is and how it's working for you. So can you tell us a little bit more about the product? Like, first of all, how did you come up with the concept? And then beyond that, give us a little insight into what differentiates your product from, say, other peanut brittles out there on the market.
Great. So what happened is that I love peanuts, I love peanut butter, and I didn't understand why I couldn't find a peanut brittle I liked. All through my teenage years, I'd travel all over the East Coast and just could not find one down in Georgia, down in South Carolina, and I gave up. And so when I got older, I was probably, maybe 23. I was home with the kids, and I decided I was going to make peanut brittle. Like how hard could it be? And so it's hard. It's difficult. So I started making it, and I'm like, okay. And then I started understanding what every single ingredient did, because it's a very much a chemical reaction with peanut brittle, and every little part of it has something to do with it. And I perfected it over about 13 years and made it every year. And then when I started giving it away, a few years ago, I gave it away for scholarships. I would sell it at scholarships at the school that I work at. People would say, oh, I need to have that recipe. I got to have that recipe. And I wouldn't give it out because I would always say, well, I'm going to retire on it. And so here I am at 50 years old. And if I don't build my business to retire on now, I probably won't do it when I'm 60. So I kind of, came to the realization that now is the time.
Awesome. So Geraldine, give us, you're a great entertainer. You've always been a great entertainer. You've always made people feel so warm and welcome and excited, and also including them in your fun. Give us 3 tips on how other people might be able to do that.
Well, there's a humorous part of life. And there's also the dark side of life. It's much easier to look at the humorous, bright side of life. And I always am laughing about something. There's a lot of laughs. I can honestly say I've had a wonderful life, and I just have laughs. I'm able to flirt. I can ad-lib. I can make everything look funny. And if you want to find us, look for where the people are laughing, because we're having such a good time out there. They really enjoy it. Matter of fact, we should pay them to let us be out there. I just love it.
Awesome, thank you. And Holly, give us a little bit of an insight into maybe 3 or 4 tips on how people who might be watching this, who may be great at making muffins or, maybe make beautiful capes, how can they take their business and think about it in a way that's more comprehensive? So maybe 4 tips on branding.
Well, I can give you one tip that's really strong, and it's about building a story. And so that's what we've done here. And we've used her age and nostalgia, old pictures, to build a story. And that's kind of what I think you should do. That's my approach to branding. And let's see, what other tips? Be consistent with your brand. So I won't let anything come into my stand that is not on brand. So if it's off brand, I'm very rough on that. And let's see. Instead of doing a lot of things mediocre, do a few things well. So don't think about quantity, think about quality. So spend a little money and get something good, and then keep building on that year after year. As you're building your assets, you think of your brand as assets. So we have a polka dot car coming up that we have planned. We've got a little scooter for her when she goes around the fair lots. So those are the plans that we can build the brand with. And people will see us all over with a new car, and we'll probably get some vehicles wrapped. So just building brand.
So give us a little bit of insight into your background on how you were able to do this. Because for the average person, this is a monumental task. Even with professional help, it still takes a lot of effort. So tell us about your background on how you were able to pull this together.
I'm in visual communications. I teach photography. I have a degree in graphic design, and I would say instead I'm a photographer or I'm a graphic designer, because I've done those jobs. I've done web development. Instead of saying that, I'm really a visual communicator, because I take all of those things and I put them together in order to communicate a message that needs to be communicated from a business to customers, potential customers. So that's my background.
Okay, awesome.
I have a master's degree in digital photography. I have a bachelor's degree in graphic design, and I have an associate's degree in visual communications.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks so much for being on the show. I'm really excited. We didn't talk that much about the peanut brittle. Maybe we'll come on another time and talk about that. But I really wanted to talk about how you pulled this together comprehensively and the brilliance of having a true entertainer as your spokesperson. So thank you so much for being here. So that was that a wonderful show or what? I love talking to people. I love getting the inside scoop on how things happen. And also, I don't know that many companies that have had such a phenomenal spokesperson that has had so many experiences in their life to be able to be the face of the company. So thanks so much, Lori Fleckett of Soltar Solutions, and I'm so happy that you tuned into Focus Forward today. Thanks so much, and have a great day.